Hello and a warm welcome to everyone. We would like to wish everyone a good morning, a good afternoon, or a good evening, depending on where you are in the world. My name is Samantha from Safeopedia, and here at Safeopedia, it is our mission to support the EHS professional, operational folks, and any safety-minded individuals with free safety information, tools, and education. I'd like to extend a huge thank you to the dedicated safety professionals for the great work they do on a daily basis in keeping our workplaces safe. Today, we are proud to present new innovative PPE solutions for the food and beverage industry. The Safeopedia webinar has been made possible today by PIP, a preferred manufacturer member of AD Safety Network. AD, Together We Win. Today, the PIP team is going to teach you how to select PPE products that protect you and your products on the job site. I am very excited to have you all sit back, relax, and enjoy this presentation. With that, let's jump into it.
Okay. Thanks, Samantha. Hello, everyone. My name is John Britt, and today I'll be joined by my colleague, Michelle Glukowski. We are both product sales managers for protective industrial products, sometimes also referred to as PIP. PIP is a global supplier and manufacturer of head-to-toe personal protective products. Michelle's area of expertise is hand and arm protection, and mine is above the neck, which includes eye, head, face, hearing, and respiratory protection. So today what we'll discuss is some of the common potential PPE pain points for the food and beverage industry and above the neck, hand and arm, along with sharing with you some possible PIP solutions. When thinking about your specific facility, we've put together some self-assessment questions for your consideration. Things like, when was your last safety audit or PPE site assessment? Are there documented job-specific PPE requirements for all of your employees? Who decides on what PPE is selected? Is it an individual? Is it a committee? Are the employees trained on wearing the PPE products provided? Has useful life criteria been established to determine how long product lasts? Has the facility had any near misses or recordables? If so, what type? Does your company have a sustainability initiative? And last but not least here, have you been made aware of some of the newest innovative products in the PPE industry? So what we're going to do, and Michelle and I will both attack these from our respective categories here, we're really going to focus around these potential problems and pain points, right? So the first one being, maybe products that aren't comfortable, they're bulky, they don't always fit, or more importantly, don't perform properly. Secondly, we'll talk about selecting PPE products that not only protect your workers, but also the products that you manufacture. Thirdly, we'll talk about sustainability, because a majority of the products used in the market today weren't really developed initially with sustainable planet in mind. And last but not least here, there's a lot of mentality sometimes that, hey, if it's not broken, don't fix it. And sometimes this leads to not really looking at or not promoting the newest innovative products. So these are the pain points that both Michelle and I will go over to. Again, I'll go over on the above the neck side. We'll talk about performance on above the neck. We'll talk about protecting workers in the product and about the sustainable PPE products. So first and foremost, I want to talk about above the neck, eye and face protection performance. So eye and face protection, a lot of times is an issue because of fogging of the products. Fogging can occur for a number of reasons related to temperature, whether it's working in hot and humid conditions, also when they're working in cold conditions or moving from hot to cold or vice versa. Even in climate controlled conditions, the body temperature of the employee can cause the PPE to fog. There's a lot of anti-fog coatings on the market. Some are sprayed on during manufacturing, some are added in the field after the fact, and some are bonded to the polycarbonate material. So things to think about out there, are your employees having issues with their safety glasses, goggles, or face shields fogging? If you have anti-fog products on there, do they still fog after a few cleanings? And lastly, have you had any eye or face injuries related to employees removing their glasses, goggles, or face shields due to fogging? If the answer to some of these are yes, and you're realizing some of these pain points, we want to introduce you to a couple of our eye and face solutions around fogging. First is Fogless 360 technology. This is a high performance fogless technology that is permanently bonded to the polycarbonate. So think about a process where it's dipped and baked to cure it onto the polycarbonate. When you do that, it'll allow that anti-fog to stay on there even during cleanings on there where a lot of your standard anti-fogs, after a few cleanings, or remember someone's wiping it off with a paper towel or rag, it's like taking fine grit sandpaper, and it'll actually take off the coating. The Fogus 360 technology is a lot stronger, and it'll bond very well to the polycarbonate. We have multiple styles available. So we have safety glasses in different styles and shapes and forms that have this Fogus 360 technology on there. We also have sealed eyewear, where in addition to the polycarbonate frame and lens, it's going to have some type of foam on there, will help if you're working in areas with a lot of dust or debris. We have reader glasses with Fogus 360 and different diopters from 1.5 to 2.5. And also some of our indirect goggles have the same Fogus 360 technology. It is by far our #1 selling style of glass in PIP and all of our partners, and something we would certainly want you to take a look at. In addition, we have a partner brand called JSP out of the UK that we're exclusive partners in the US with. They actually have face shields that they have high-end anti-fog. While it's not called Fogus 360, it performs in a very similar way. So we've got different face shields that have this anti-fog coating on there, and this product works really well. We recently had a pain point in one of the Houston area markets where it's super humid. And they said, we've tried every face shield on the market, every glass on the market. We can't get anything that's not going to fog. So we set them up with both the Fogus 360 eyewear and the JSP EvoGuard face shields, and they perform remarkably. So now they have flipped over their eyewear and their face shields to the PIP products because it helps solve the solution for them. So again, if this is something you're running into, we encourage you to take a look at our products there. We're more than happy to sample these, come to your facility with you and help you identify, solutions based on our offering for these products. Next, we want to talk about protecting the workers and the product. So reasons why this pain occurs, some PPE is designed only to protect the worker and not the product being manufactured. If you think about it, if your PPE ends up in the product, it could cause contamination, which could result in illness to the consumer if it's not detected, or costly loss of product. So when you think about this in your application here, have you had any instances where some type of PPE has ended up in consumable batches of product? Does your PPE allow for detectability if this was to happen? And then if you have metal detectable equipment in your process, or if you don't, maybe that's something you could add, because you're trying to eliminate that potential contamination while protecting your employee at the same time. With that in mind, we've got a couple different types of PPE that works really well for these type solutions here. Metal detectable earplugs and metal detectable eyewear. On the metal detectable earplugs, these are going to have a little bit of metal in the cord and also in the plug itself. And we've got a lot of different options and NRR ratings depending on what your noise reduction requirements are. We have these in PU foam. We have reusable TPU that can be washed and reused. We've got push-in type products where a combination of a reusable and also foam where you kind of just push and twist. And then we also have a bio-based solution that I'll talk more about here in a couple of minutes. Okay, so those are all ones. All in all, we've got about 9 different metal detectable earplugs in our lineup that we could help you with if that's something that you need. In addition, a lot of folks know about the earplug side of it. They don't think about metal detectable when it comes to eyewear. We do have a few styles of metal detectable eyewear. We have it in our Fogus 360 style that's anti-fog, anti-scratch. If price is the issue and you don't have the budget for the higher end anti-fog, we do have a standard anti-fog, anti-scratch, just knowing that it won't last as long, but it'll still work. And then we also have clear and light blue lens options for you for metal detectable eyewear. So again, these are a couple of solutions for you on the PPE side that's going to help protect your workers and also protect your product. The last one that I'll cover on the above the neck side is going to be sustainable PPE products. As you well know, that's becoming more and more prevalent in the industry here because many of the products in the market today are being sent to landfills, not being recycled, not being reused, not using sustainable products on the front end. So this can contribute to a lot of different types of environmental impacts. including climate change, water contamination, pollution. Because of this, many PPE manufacturers, including PIP, are looking towards more sustainable type products to manufacture PPE from, and also end-of-life recycling type programs. So when you think about this is, does your company have a sustainability initiative? If it doesn't, should you? What is your company doing to help reduce landfill waste? Okay, which is very important. And then lastly, do you know if any of your PPE products being recycled today, or if they're made from sustainable materials? So on this side, we're going to go back to the hearing protection. And we're very proud to introduce you to, if you're not familiar with, our BioSoft hearing protection. This is the world's first bio-based sustainable earplug. It's a patented foam technology. It's made from bio-based materials. Not only the foam itself, but the plug, the stem, the cord, and the packaging are all bio-based. We actually used Canadian corn to make the packaging from it, okay? So why is that important? Couple ways, both from a beginning of life and also end of life. So from a beginning of life on there, by using these bio-based materials, these are a replenishable plant-based source. So it's a sustainable type material, and it lowers the carbon emission as well. The nice thing about these plugs is, if you were to hold these plugs in your hand, and you would feel it versus a typical PU or PVC plugs, it feels the same. It feels the same in your ear. It performs the same way, okay? So these are gonna have some of the most common shapes you see in the industry, from this bullet shaped for easy installation there, and it's a 32 noise reduction rating. We offer these in corded and non-corded, and then the metal detectable side on the bullet, we offer it in a corded. We also have a hybrid plug in this style as well, and this is our pinch fit. So the pinch fit is going to be that sustainable material with a stem on there that allows you kind of to push and twist that plug to get it to seat in your ear. So we do that one also in a non-corded version and also corded. And then on the metal detectable pinch fit, those will all be corded. Again, you'll have some of that metal in the plug itself as well as the cord. Okay, so these products are really gaining a lot of traction out there. There's a lot of interest around it. There's a lot of companies with sustainability initiatives there. We've done really well with this, and we would certainly like your company to think about that, whether you have a sustainability program in place today, or whether in your process of implementing one, or if you don't have one. Because again, if you get the same fit, performance, function, why not a sustainable type product? Okay. All right, with that, I'm going to turn it over to my colleague, Michelle Glukowski, and she's going to take you through some similar scenarios for hand and arm protection.
Thank you, John. So we're going to talk about the potential problems and pain points regarding hand and arm protection. I also think it's significant that we talk about it in terms of hand and arm protection, not gloves and sleeves. At PIP, we don't sell gloves, we sell hand and arm protection. And the distinction is that we really want to work with you to provide solutions, and that we really try not to throw something at a wall and hope that it sticks, that we come in with a proposal that works for you based on your needs. 3 topics we're going to cover on those pain points is performance, protecting the worker versus the product, and sustainable PPE products around hand and arm protection. In the performance, it's why does the pain occur? There are lots of differences in the quality of the materials that can impact the performance of the product. The type of coating or material that you use is a direct correlation to grip, and the grip on a product can enhance the worker experience. So, for example, there are different grades of nitrile, and all in those different grades, there's different fillers and plasticizers that go into these products. That has an impact on the performance and the grip and the tensile strength of the product you use, specifically as you refer to disposable products. Also has a impact on the quality of the product and the performance of the longevity of a unsupported glove. And we'll talk about what those are in a moment. Here's some questions you might consider. Do your employees' hands slip when they're wearing the current glove? Do employees' arms or hands ache at the end of the day? Grip is directly correlated to the body ergonomics. So if you can't grab it, it affects your grip, it affects your forearms, it affects your neck, it affects your lower back. All of this based on the grip of a product that you have to use on a consistent basis. How often are you replacing the product? And do they tear or rip when you put them on? That specific question is around disposables, but it's also around the quality of the product that you might use, even if it isn't a disposable product. We've also identified a few different grip patterns here, a sandy grip, a raised diamond, or a honeycomb. Depending on the type of application, determines the type of grip pattern that you'll use. One of the solutions is, and I talked about this just a moment ago, about the quality of the compound or the material, the polymer that you use. One of ours is solutions is a product called GripAz, and this is an extended use glove. Most disposables, or what we consider that type of product, is a one-time use. This product can be reused because of number of reasons, a number of factors. Number one, the quality of the compound, the purity of the compound, the tensile strength of the product, and the way that the product's made. It also depends on the application, whether or not you can reuse this. But in some cases, specifically in food processing, we have had end users that will use our Food Grip Plus and will reuse it, or it could potentially replace an unsupported product. You'll also notice that this product has an AQL of 1.5. And there is a lot of misnomer in what a medical grade glove does or a food grade glove does. All of this comes down to a basic component, which is AQL. AQL means the acceptable quality level. The lower the AQL, the higher the quality of the product. And what that means is the number of pinholes that a glove can have when it's tested. So it's 1.5 pinholes per 100 gloves, which is really low because on average, a glove is at about a 4.5 AQL. When you're choosing or selecting a product, you really want to pay attention to not if the product is medical grade or food grade or industrial grade. What you really want to pay attention to is the AQL level. That also impacts the performance of the product. Some of these products were also tested for other various chemicals that can be used in different applications, such as fentanyl. The other solution might be the different types of products that could be used in food. Cut-resistant bio-based dynemas are very common. PIP is also the largest domestic manufacturer of cut-resistant gloves and sleeves in the United States, and we're very proud that while other companies were outsourcing, we've been insourcing. A lot of times people will use string knit gloves, whether they be a blend of cotton, polyester, or nylon, depending on what they're using that style of glove for, either warmth as a liner or something to protect the food versus the product. Depending on that application and certain packaging, will suggest or you might choose to use a coated seamless glove with a coating on it. Also, those products need to be assessed to determine if the back of that glove perhaps might fall into food, if that stamp will stay on. It's really significant to understand, does that glove meet specific requirements and the quality of the materials that are being used. Supported products are basically those that have a liner on the inside for absorption or perspiration, or if there's an application where steam or heat is required, you want to add a certain level of protection. Unsupported products are those that do not have a liner, a knit or a jersey style liner on the inside. They could be flock lined, which is more like a cotton spray, or unlined. More often than not, in food, we see unlined products because the concern for flocking could lead to some sort of contamination. And then, of course, disposable or extended use products are probably one of the biggest, highest uses out there. You'll notice I've also identified different gauges and materials that are used. So they go all the way from a really kind of bulkier glove, a 7-gauge glove, and the gauge of the glove means threads per inch. So the higher the gauge, the thinner the glove. Also have identified different thicknesses in mil thickness. Unsupported products do not measure mil thickness, but unsupported do. Most commonly, we'll see 11, 15, 22 mil. And then in disposables, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mil. Sometimes people actually use the gram weight, but at PIP, we will measure all three areas of that glove so that we have consistent mill thickness through the fingers, through the palm, and through the cuff. And why that matters to you is because it does impact the performance of the product. This was going to be about protecting the worker versus the product. In many facilities, struggle to choose the proper hand protection because they're often balancing worker safety against product contamination. Cross-contamination, as we well know, can lead to worker injuries and also have an impact on recalls and the bottom line. Here's a few questions to consider. Is your primary need to protect the worker or the product? 21 CFR is also something that we have to consider. Do your processes fall under food grade or standard PPE protocols? That actually determines the type of solution that you may use. And what's your current PPE recycling or reuse process? On this slide, we've put together some of the information that may be required for you to understand what is needed. It's not necessarily the materials that are 21 CFR, it's understanding that 21 CFR is a litany of requirements and requires an immense amount of documentations. So what we've done here is determined or outlined what those may look like should you need in a very easy space to understand what all those processes are, especially when you're choosing the type of PPE or if you're looking to protect the worker versus the product. Understanding what those requirements and applications are very critical to selecting the correct product. In this particular slide, what we've done here is kind of giving you the choices between items that are designed to protect the product or items that are determined or designed to protect the worker. And so the materials that you use are also, as I've said before, very important to what the product will do for you. So the kind of materials that you'll use must be food grade, which ties into the requirements for 21 CFR. We see more often than not nitrile, PVC vinyl, natural rubber latex. And then the purpose of those are to prevent the contamination, protect food integrity, meets the FDA requirements. And these are often disposable products that are single or one-time use. When it comes to worker protection, you're looking for something that might be a little stronger, depending on the type of application that you're in. We manufacture Claw Cover, which is a brand that's very big in the industry for food. You'll see that in probably a lot of meat packing or food processing places. These types of gloves are intended to be laundered and they want to get multiple uses out of. They are made of heavy duty composites, cut resistant materials. They are made of durable construction to handle really, really difficult tasks. The purpose of those is to prevent injuries, protect from hazards, and to meet OSHA standards. And these are examples of those are cut-resistant gloves, chemical-resistant gloves, and we're also seeing a trend going towards chemical cut-resistant gloves in certain applications. Sustainability. Why the pain occurs is really because we don't really see a lot of new innovation, and it's a work in progress. Or maybe, as John had referred to earlier, if it's not broken, don't fix it. But I think what you'll find is that with those innovations, improvements can be made. Just questions you might consider as you're thinking about what sustainability means to your organization. How does your team currently handle sustainability reporting and compliance requirements? How are your customers influenced by your sustainability initiatives? And what are your key considerations when weighing performance against sustainability? PIP is first to market an innovation of what we're doing and working on to improve or help people provide innovation in bio-based Dyneema. We are the first manufacturer in the world to actually use this product or in the United States to use this product or these fibers in our materials. And this is what this means, and it's really, really significant. We can improve the material of the product, make it more sustainable, and the distinction between the carbon emissions is 41,000 pounds to 6,000 pounds. We're talking about generic HDPE, aramid, which is like Kevlar, standard Dyneema, and bio-based Dyneema. It's a 7-to-1 ratio of what you can actually use or write or eliminate as carbon emissions. This is pretty exciting for us to be first to market and to actually help provide our customers and end users with solutions like that, or for those that are looking to improve or achieve their sustainability initiatives. We're looking to help produce their carbon footprint. And Dyneema, the interesting thing about the bio-based Dyneema is that you didn't lose any integrity in the product. It is still 15 times stronger than steel. It is lighter than air. It floats on water and is chemically inert. And those things all matter when it comes to the longevity or a reuse or recyclable program. For applications where some of the bio-based Dyneema may not be required, such as packaging, we also offer a complete line of coated seamless Eco Series products that are made of these same materials. When we made the decision to move to these materials, we did it because we wanted to really work with our customers on sustainability initiatives, and we improved, in some cases, the cut protection of the product while maintaining the performance characteristics of the feel and functionality of those products. We really work diligently to provide a lot of different coating solutions and solutions for your application. And what that means is also a variety of sizes, because not one size fits all. Not all one product should be someplace or everywhere. We think that, and we believe that hand protection is like tools. You don't use the same tool for every job, nor should you use the same hand protection or glove for every job. This is why we have so many products to offer for different solutions that you may have in your facilities. As I said earlier, we're the largest domestic manufacturer of cut-resistant sleeves in the United States. And one of the things that we've done with our bio-based Dyneema is also made Eco Series or bio-based sleeves. We're so proud of the fact that we not only manufacture in the United States, but we excel and do so much things in customization. And what does that mean for you? That you don't have to pull something off the shelf, that one size may not fit all, or try not to put a round peg into a square hole. In some cases, if a sleeve is falling down, we'll have a solution for you to keep the integrity of that sleeve intact, which means that if you are using a laundering program, you can reuse that sleeve over and over and over again. One of the most interesting things about Dyneema is that as you launder it, it actually gets stronger in the material. So we will test the launderability of these products and work with you to ensure that we provide a solution that meets your needs based on those applications and hazards in your facilities. We looked at some of the companies that were investing in sustainability, and recently I had a conversation with a supplier, a large food processing supplier to McDonald's. And McDonald's had said, look, we're looking to make these types of initiatives. We want to improve our sustainability program, which means we're coming to you as our suppliers to help us with these objectives and these goals. And what we discovered is there are some common themes and companies that are investing in sustainability. Their supplier engagement programs. So if you were to work with PIP, we have global initiatives to help show you what we're doing to work to achieve our sustainability initiatives and goals. Responsible sourcing, energy efficiency improvements, eco-design principles, sustainable materials, and life cycle assessments. Similarly to what John had said earlier about our hearing protection, our bio-based hearing protection, we're doing the same thing with our hand and arm protection. We are working together to improve products that are or make products available that are innovative to help companies achieve their goals so we can work towards a common solution. Some of those companies I refer that we show here are Cargill, Kraft, Heinz, Tyson Foods, Coca-Cola, and as I mentioned earlier, McDonald's. So this is a trend that is happening in the market, and at PIP, we're here to help you work towards those goals any which way that we can. We also have a lot of resources available to you on our website at pipusa.com. We have online safety training that you can utilize, live hands-on training with your people. One of the things that we really love to do about that is to educate people why these things work this way, how materials are made, why you choose what you choose, so that employees understand that you really have their best interests at heart. We also do head-to-toe assessments at PIP. We're a head-to-toe supplier. Although that what we talked about today is above the neck and hand and arm protection, we also do a litany and a variety of other products to help you provide solutions for your hazardous applications. This is an example of our head-to-toe site assessment where we can come into your facility and work with you to help choose the proper PPE for certain applications or hazards in your environment. We understand that your primary goal is to engineer the application out, but where you can't, we're here to work with you to provide the solutions in your PPE. We also have conversion tools and resources on our website at pipusa.com. We do custom logos, whether it be on hard hats, eyewear, high-vis vest, high-vis jackets, all types of products. We do those in the United States, as well as we have an interactive product selector guide that you can go in and use. That if you have, you could put in your application, identify specific hazards. Well, we will provide options for you. And as additional value, we have a lot of other ways that we can help with documented cost savings, whether they be vendor-ready solutions, e-commerce, sustainability, as we already talked about, and being a trusted partner. We work together to achieve standardization and consolidation and really provide productivity enhancers. You know, some of the things that we do in our innovation is even changing the design of products to make them more user-friendly. E-commerce is really about how we can work with you to provide the best ways for you to purchase from PIP. Sustainability, as we talked about, is a huge initiative for us. So if you have those goals, we really hope that you'll choose to work with us in the future. And then we want to be a trusted partner. We want to actually take you to our factory and show you how products are made. We are a full line of PPE supplier, global, and has a global footprint. And of course, as we discussed earlier, our ESG focus is really critical to our future success as an organization. If you need additional information, please don't hesitate to reach out to customer service at pipusa.com or call 855-284-6800, or you can reach out to John or myself personally. We thank you so much for your time today as you listen to us talk about different ways that we may be able to help with any of the initiatives that you may have around sustainability, achieving your safety goals, and providing the best product and solutions for your workers so that they go home safe to their families every single day. Thank you.
Great, Michelle, John, that was so much information in such a short period of time. Some really cool innovations and links there. So I want to encourage the audience. If you want to put some of those links back on the screen, now would be a great time to do that. Just make sure that our audience can get a hold of those and make sure that they're reaching out to the PIP team. Before we wrap it up today, is there anything else you wanted our audience to keep top of mind or take away from today so that they can be successful in their PPE journey?
I'll say this, it really is important to us that people go home safe to their families. You know, we really care about providing the best option for people, the best solution that is functional and comfortable for them. But at the end of the day, what really matters to us at PIP and what PIP stands for is passion, is people, and is passion, innovation, and people. So we care as much about making sure that your employees go home, that they can go catch a ball with their kid, or that they make sure that they can have all their digits all and they can hear at when they're watching their children play. It really is important to us. It's not just about giving you a product, it's really about making sure that your workers are safe.
Absolutely, Michelle. And also I'd like to add, and wrapping this up, is, obviously Michelle and I, as product experts for these categories, are a couple of the resources you have, but PIP is about 100+ salespeople strong in the field with our people that work directly for PIP and our network of agents. So we are there to help you to come into your facilities and do these site assessments that Michelle talked about here. We have a very liberal sampling program to let you actually try it. It's personal protective equipment. The first P is personal. So we believe that it's important to get these products on your people's hands and faces and what have you on there, and we'll certainly stand behind that. But just know that we've got a lot of support for you at PIP from a people standpoint, as well as all the different things that Michelle went over as far as tools on there. So I'd like to leave you with that. And I'd like to offer my thank you as well for everyone's time and participation today. And please let us know if we can help you any further.
Fantastic. Well, thank you, John. Thank you, Michelle. And of course, I want to thank PIP and AD Safety Network for allowing us to put this on, as well as all of the dedicated safety professionals for the great work they do on a daily basis in keeping our workplaces safe and the audience, because without them, none of this would be possible. So thanks again. Take care and stay safe. Bye, everyone.